What is up, everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you another approach on how you can create microservices in Golang. And we're going to take the actor approach, and maybe the people that already was on my channel, they know that I am creating my own actor model framework. And what is an actor model framework? You will see when we are going to implement our own microservices. What are we going to build? Before I'm going to say that, I'm going to tell you that if you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, leave some questions in the comments, and jump into my Discord community. All links in the description. And for the people that really want to level up, go and check out the Patreon page. We are building decentralized file storages in Golang, all distributed stuff, blockchains. You can see me work on the framework, on the Hollywood framework. You can see me making order book stuff and all that. It's amazing. Check it out and let me know what you think about that. All right, so a lot of people are basically building microservices right now, and they basically overthink it a lot, and they start with all these crazy packages and all these tooling around it, and then Kubernetes and Docker and all that stuff, and that's all fine, that's all good, but it does not need to be that difficult all the time. There is, especially if you're in a very highly concurrent environment, you can run into a lot of problems. You need to take care of a lot of stuff. And the actor model framework, Hollywood, what I'm building, is going to do a lot of stuff for you. And I'm going to show you. So what we're going to build is we're going to build two different services. Of course, you can build 10,000 services if you want, but we're going to keep it simple. We're going to build two services. One service is going to be the scraper. It's going to scrape an API. It's going to scrape cat facts about cats, and it's going to send them over the wire to another process, which will basically be the store, which will store these cat facts, which should store these cat. We're going to mock it, of course, but it will store these cat facts into a database. It's a very common practice, right? Most of the time you have something in between where you're going to fetch some data, a consumer, you're going to fetch it, you're going to produce it to another service, which will do some data manipulation, and then the final massaged object will be pushed to another process, which will store that stuff into the database. It's very common stuff. That's what we're going to build. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I already did some stuff. I already installed proto buffer. I also have this types here, which is a message. And this message can have some data. It's going to be a string. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to call it a cat fact, actually, to be honest, and this is going to be the fact, right? It's going to be that simple. I'm going to do a make proto, which I already did. God damn it, this is so annoying. Let me quickly do something real quick, because when I changed terminals, basically I did not have this proto buffer binary in my pad. That's going to be a problem. So if I do make proto, yes, like that, boom, it's going to build that, and now we have this cat fact stuff we can work with, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some normally I'm not a folder structure guy, but we're going to do it anyway. So I'm going to make a new folder. It's going to be CMD, right? And in the CMD, we're going to have a new folder. This is going to be the scraper, right? The scraper. That's perfectly fine. And then we're going to have a new folder, which is going to be the store. It's as easy as that, right? So in the scraper, we're going to make a new file. We're going to call this main.go. We're going to say package main, func main, all this good stuff, this Golang good stuff, right? We're going to close this thingy. That's perfectly fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to, actually, to be honest, let's make it at top. We're going to say the scraper is going to be a structure, right? And we're going to have a URL. We're going to scrape a URL. It's going to be a string. That's fine. We're also going to have the store pit. And the store pit is going to be an actor.process ID, right? So what is a process ID? A pit. This is so annoying. What's going on with this? Something is fucked in my VS Code. It's going to be fine. It's going to fetch it, and it's going to be all good. Right. So a pit is basically a process ID, and it's an ID that the engine, the Hollywood engine, will basically use to locate where these processes are and execute them. Right. That's and detect them. It's in the registry. Right. And yeah, that's all you need to know. So normally you could have some kind of a cluster, which I'm going to start in the project very soon, which will basically auto-detect all your services spinning up. It can auto-detect what kinds are being spinned, what spinned up, what the IDs are, and it can find each other without you to hard-code them. That's super amazing. I'm using that in production, but for now we don't have that, so we're going to hard-code this, well, kind of hard code is store pit, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to say a new scraper. We're going to give this a URL. It's going to be a string. We're going to give this a store pit, which is going to be an actor pit. We're going to return an actor.producer, which is going to be return a function, which will return an actor.receiver. And that's going to be return me this pointer to this scraper. A scraper. Do we need 2 P's? I have no clue. We're going to say URL is going to be the URL, and the store pit is going to be the store pit. Super easy. Of course, we're going to have some problems because we need to implement the receive interface. So we're going to say as scraper receive, capital R. It's going to take in a C, which is going to be a pointer to an actor.context, and it will return nothing. We're going to switch here based on the message, which will be the message that it's in the context, right? And we're going to switch on the type, just like that, right? And Hollywood, the framework will basically send you some messages each time your process is being spinned up, and when it's closed and all that stuff, and when it's stopped, I mean. So we're going to say case an actor started. We're going to do some stuff. Case an actor stopped. You could also handle that message if you want. And of course, we're going to say case types get fact. We're also going to handle that's very important. No, that's not true. That's the store. That's the store. We don't need this here. It's all going to be fine. Yes, that's good. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make a function. It's going to be as scraper. We're going to say start scrape loop or something. You can call it whatever you want. We're going to say for. What's going on here? We're going to say time sleep scrape interval. Boom, just like that. We don't have that, so we're going to make it const scrape interval. It's going to be time second. Why do we need that? Because we don't want to. What's going on here? We don't want to scrape the API too fast, because then we're going to get locked out, and we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is, actually, you will see. We're going to scrape some cat facts, right? So we're going to say that the response error is going to be HTTP get as URL, right? If there is an error, and that error is not nil, we can actually just panic out. You could say, why are you panicking out? Well, it's because in an actor framework, in an actor model, you can just panic because it says if your system does not know what to do, if your system is in an inconsistent state, you can just panic, and the supervisor will reboot this process from a clean, fresh state, so it will reconnect and yada, yada, yada. It could be that our catfact API is basically offline, so if it's offline, we cannot get it, so it's going to return an error. And what you're going to do, continue, and you need some kind of circuit breaking. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to panic. The supervisor will restart the process default 3 times. You could make it 20 times, 100 times, but default is 3 times. So it's going to retry 3 times, and if it then cannot find something on the endpoint, then it's going to basically completely shut down, right? But maybe the catfact API is basically offline for a couple seconds. That's no problem, because we're going to pick it up because the supervisor will restart this process over and over. You're going to panic at. It doesn't really matter. Then we have a response. We're going to say, actually, we need a simple catfact here. Type catfact. Actually, to be honest, it's going to complain, so I'm going to make it public. Catfact, just like that. It's going to be a structure. And a catfact is going to have a fact, which is going to be a string. And then it's going to be, I need this JSON thingy. What's going on here? 60% keyboard shenanigans going on. JSON, there's going to be fact, lowercase, so it also has a length, but we don't care about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if r is JSON new decoder, response body decode var fact cat fact. Actually, to be honest, it's public, just like that. Fact r not nil. Yikes. In this case, basically, if it cannot JSON, if it cannot decode it, that's something you need to think about. Do we need to panic in this case? I don't think so, right? Because it could be just I don't know, an inconsistency or something. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue here. Of course, we're going to log this error as a good house father, or how do you say that, we're going to log the error right here. And you could actually prepend it with something like fail to decode or something. Decodes the response body, something like that, right? Hey, it's up to you. And in the other case, we're going to have a fact. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically do some stuff. We need the engine. The engine, we need that because we're going to send messages and we need an engine. So we're going to say here in our scraper, we're going to say engine, which is going to be an actor.engine, like that. You could also store the context, whatever, but I prefer to store the engine. So what I'm going to do is we're going to say here at started. Each time we start, we're going to say that the engine is going to be the context engine, right? Boom, just like that, easy peasy. What's going on with this message? What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to say a default here, and I'm going to say underscore is message so the compiler is happy, right? This engine is fine. We're also going to start a scrape loop, actually, to be honest. Boom. And we're going to do it in another Go routine, because if we don't do that in a Go routine, we're going to block the start message, and an actor model is basically going to process all these messages one by one, so that we never have some kind of a mutex. We don't never need a mutex for our state because it's getting processed one by one. That means that if you block that for 10 minutes, you cannot process the next message for 10 minutes, right? So we need to have a Go in here. Of course, if we have a Go here, it's very important that if you use a Go routine here, then your state is actually vulnerable for data for these conditions, right? But we don't write the store bit anymore, we don't write the engine anymore, and of course the URL, we don't write it anymore. So there is no problem with the scrape loop, right? Of course, we cannot decode this. I can see what's going on because we need this reference to this thing. Scrape interval, that's fine. And each time we have a fact, then we're going to say that s engine send, and we're going to send to s store bit, right? The only thing we need is the store bit, and then we're going to send types cat fact, right? And then we're going to have the facts here, which is going to be, actually, to be honest, let's make it clean and mean. The fact is going to be that other fact is fact. It's a lot of facts, right? 3 times the fact. A lot of facts here. It's not clean enough, I know, but let's do res or something. You know what I mean? It's too much facts, man. People are going to roast me for this. So we're going to say fact is going to be the res.fact. That's actually nice, right? Look at this. Community happy, me happy, we all happy, right? We can live. Like I said, I'm a deviation of the community, but hey, we can live in harmony. No worries about that. Scrape interval, that's fine. I think we're Gucci, right? Yes, 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 we're Gucci. We have the scrape loop here. What's going on with this thing? Why it's not getting used? That's fine, that's fine. All right, so the next thing we're going to do real quick, because we need to speed up, we're going to say that the listen adder of this thingy is going to be flag string. It's going to be listen adder. Let's do some speed coding here real quick, and it's going to be default to 3000. That's 4000. This is 3000. That's going to be a to do because I don't have time to do some documentation, right? Then we're going to say flag parse, just like that. Then we're going to say that what's going on here real quick. Yes, cool. Then we're going to say engine is going to be an actor new engine, right? Just like that. Not event stream. We don't need that. Then we're going to make a remote, right? Because we're going to do that over the wire. We're not going to do that locally. So we're going to say, you could do it locally, but then you don't need a remote. So we're going to say the remote is going to be a remote.new. We need to pass in the engine, and then we need to have a remote config. Config, just like that. And then we need to have the listen adder is going to be this dereferenced listen adder from the flag. Just like that, boom. And then we're going to say e with remote. So we make an engine, an actor engine, right? So we can act. Then we're going to make a remote, so we can send messages over the wire. And then we're going to hook the remote, the engine with remote. And we're going to with remote, boom. And then we're going to say engine spawn me. And what are we going to spawn? The new scraper. The new scraper with the URL, which we're going to basically do quick here. You could also give this with a actually, to be honest, let's make it a constant. Yo. Just like that. You're going to say URL. It's going to be https cat fact ninja /fact. Just like that. And of course, I'm going to have some issues here. with this proto remote. We don't need this. What's going on here? VS Code, I don't know what it's doing here with something is borked, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna, normally if you install just Hollywood, it's gonna be fine, but hey, VS Code. Alright, so what's going on here? Listen, adder, config. There's also some problems here. This is not gonna work. I need to fix this in the library. We need to do this, right? We need to do this because you could have, it is what it is, but that's still not the problem here. So remote config. That's going to be an uppercase, right? Perfectly fine. So we're going to make a new scraper with the URL, which is a constant, and then we need the store pit. So the store pit is basically very important. Each time you're going to make an actor, what the system is going to do is going to create a pit, right? So if it's a remote, it's basically going to take your local host, right? And it's going to basically append the name of your actor. In this case, it's going to be the store. That's how we're going to call it. That's why we can do pits. And like I said, if I'm going to make the cluster, you don't need to do this anymore. You don't need to hard code anything anymore. You can just, hey, give me the store, and it will find it on the cluster, give you the pit, and call it a day, and you're going to be so happy. But in this case, we can't. So we're going to say actor new pit. So we're going to say it's going to be in one. We're going to hard code it a little bit. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but it is what it is. You could use console or something to do that. That's what the cluster is going to do in the future. But right now, for the sake of this demonstration, we're going to do it like this. So we're going to call this the store, right? That's how we're going to call it in our other process in 1 minute. We're going to give this a port of 4000, right? That's fine. So we're going to say this, and then we're going to say the pits of the store. Actually, to be honest, let's make it more explicit. Store pit, just like that. Boom, hops, and call it store pit. New scraper. That's so bad, right? We're going to do it like, what am I doing here? Yes, new scraper like that. And then we're going to give it a name. We're going to call it the store. Simple. And then we're going to select here until we die. That's the thing. Right, so what we could do is go run cmd scraper main.go. Boom. Is this gonna work? Boom, it's fine. Okay, so now it's gonna dial the store. You see? The stream writer is trying to dial the store, but the store is not there. And I think my camera just fell off. That's basically because I streamed also for 2 hours today, and he's basically overheat for sure, right? But it doesn't matter, we do it without any camera. We're gonna do it like this. Perfectly fine. So, that's the first time that happens actually. But it is what it is. So that's fine. Everything is working. To be honest, let me delete only screen. Can I do this? No, we can't. It's going to be a problem. Can I do something else? Scene, start, full screen, top right, zoomcast, test. It's fine. Let's do it like this. So new scraper, store, all good, all good. Right. The next thing we're going to do is basically build our store, which we already have. So we're going to make a new main in store. We're going to call it package main func main, just like that. Then we're going to basically make the store. It's going to be a struct, just like that. Func new store, which will return an actor.receiver, just like that. And then we're going to return the store like this. And then we're going to say func as store receive with the context like that. This needs to be a pointer, by the way. Then we're going to do again a switch on the message. Is going to be C message like that's fine. Type up, yeps, case actor dot started like this. Maybe stopped, why not? And then we're going to say case types cat fact. We're going to fmt println stored fact into the db. Boom. With the msg.fact. Boom. Of course, let me find this thingy. No, again. Boom. Right, of course we're not going to store it, and I'm also I'm looking at the camera, but there is no camera. So of course we could store this you could see where it's going, right? Now we're going to just print it out, but you could store it into a DB. You could use Postgres or something or whatever. You could do whatever you want with it, right? That's the easy stuff. We could do like this. Let's print it out here. Let's say store is started. I don't know. Hey, be creative. Yes, I think it's going to be fine. So we're going to open up this other main. A main of scraper, by the way. Just like that. Let's kill this. And let's copy everything in the main, to be honest. Where are we? Here. Listen address and all that stuff. So we're going to copy this. What's going on? Man, I coded so many hours today. It's crazy that I'm completely fried. But it is what it is. So I'm going to kill... Oh, what I'm doing here. I fucked it up. Not anymore. Alright, so, oh man, this is also nasty. Like, sometimes I'm pressing some things which will basically lowercase everything. It's so annoying. I mean, who invent this stuff? A remote new. Look at this, man. Now I need to retype everything. Remotes, config. It's my own fault, and I need to basically take with my deal with my actions. With remotes, it's gonna be fine. New pit. Look at this, guys. This is amazing. New pit. Spawn. It's not going to be a scraper because we're at in the store, right? This is a store. This, yes, it is. So we're going to delete this. The only thing we need to do here is spawn a new store, and we're going to call this store, right? So this, and we need to change the listen adder real quick to 4000. So you can see this is our listen adder. This is the name of the store. Of the process, so it's going to create a pit, which is going to be like this, right? 127.0.0.1 slash, of course, the port slash store, and that's the exact same thing we did in main scraper. Scraper, so annoying that yes, you can see that's the same thing we did in scraper here. Where is it? Here, store pit is going to be this, right? This is a problem. This is not going to be store. It's going to be fact scraper. That's the pit of our scraper, the name of our scraper, and it's going to be the name of our store. Right, that's it. I think it should be fine. So what we're going to do, I'm going to create another terminal here, and I'm going to make the store right here. Actually, go run it, by the way. Go run examples. No, not CMD. Time to eat, to be honest. We're going to say store. Main.go. I'm so sorry for my clumsiness. Boom. So the store is started. Nothing happened, right? So the next thing we're going to do is boot up the scraper, right? So I'm going to start the scraper. And we can see that we receive messages from the scraper in the store. Right? You can see all these messages. We're going to store these into the DB. And this is a complete different process, right? Because the other one runs on 3000 and the other one runs on 4000, right? So that's fine. So what happens? This is our store, right? And what happens if we kill the store? Look, we kill the store. Boom. The stream write is going to be complaining, right? But it's keep going. So what we could do is bring back the store online. And you can see the store is doing its stuff. Again, perfectly fine. And the cool stuff is, look at this, right? So let me kill the store, right? So I'm kill the store. I'm going to clear the screen. This is keep doing stuff. Look at this, right? And now I'm going to boot up the store. Boom. And you see that it basically, it buffered up all these messages on the other side, right? And then when you boot up the store, it's going to receive all these messages that are basically buffered up. So it's some kind of, yeah, it's just amazing, right? So you're never losing data. You know what I mean? So it's cool. And we could do the same thing with the fact here, with the scraper here, right? We could kill the scraper. The store will do actually nothing. It's going to say the stream reader is terminated, right? And then we can boot up back the scraper, boom. And the scraper will do his shenanigans. And this will get his messages once again. And if I close this one, this is going to complain. No problem. But I can boot this back up. Poof. And it's going to receive all these messages. Hey. And this all without a camera. Can you imagine? Right? So that's basically it. How you can make microservices. This is very simple, but you can imagine that you could have something that scrapes the cat facts, send it to another process that does some data manipulation, then sends it to the store, right? And it's all communicating with each other. Right. Cool. Especially, fortunately, that my camera is broken. He's been online for a couple of hours now. I think it's his 4th hour he's online. So, yeah, it's time to rest. Everybody has time to rest, also the camera. If you like the videos that I'm providing to you, please consider subscribing, give me a thumbs up, leave some questions in the comments. Very important is jump into the Discord community. And if you want to learn how I built this thing, the backend, like the low level stuff of Hollywood, how it all works, how you need to create some stuff like that, you can go into my Patreon and check out the videos there, and much, much, much more. This is basically an introduction. I'm going to make more and more videos about microservices with Hollywood. I'm going to make them more complex because this is a very simple one, but I just want to show you how you could get started with this stuff, right? So, hey, this Sunday for me today. I don't know when you're going to watch it, but I'm already going to say have a nice Sunday, and I'm looking forward to see you in one of my future videos. Peace.